Welcome to Treasure Hunting for OERs, presented by the Kishwaukee College Library. During this short video, I will show you how to find OER treasures. Let's begin our quest. Kish Library staff asked our students what they would buy if textbooks were free. Some of their answers were a little silly, but most were quite revealing. They would buy clothes, food, medicine, and feel a sense of financial stability. We need to do what we can to lessen the cost of textbooks and course materials for our students, which will, hopefully, result in our students being more successful while they are here at Kish. Open educational resources are textbooks, learning activities, course materials, media, even whole courses that are more freely available than copyrighted materials and are usually low cost or free, saving our students money. The authors or creators of the OER material determine how their works can be used by assigning Creative Commons licensing. Most open educational resources have Creative Commons licensing already assigned. For example, CC stands for Creative Commons, which is a form of copyright and shows how people can use the OER. BY stands for attribution and has to do with giving credit to the author or creator of the OER. NC means non-commercial, meaning that the material won't be sold for a profit. SA stands for share alike and allows adopters of the OER to make changes like switch chapters around. Usually the licensing for the altered OER has to be the same Creative Commons licensing as the original. ND, or no derivatives, means that the work can only be distributed in its original form, and this is the most restrictive of the Creative Commons licensing. A combination of these two-letter abbreviations indicates how the work can be used. For example, an OER textbook with Creative Commons licensing of BY, NC, SA means that users of the work should give credit to the creator, BY. Users cannot sell a copy of the work, NC, and users can make changes to the original, SA. Now let's begin our treasure hunt. I'll show you how to find OERs using Kish Library resources. All of Kish Library's resources can be accessed through the library's public website. Go to the library link in the footer of the college's website at kish.edu. First, we'll start with Kish Library's Guide to Finding OERs. It is available from the library's website under the Faculty Resources tab. Once you open the Faculty Resources tab, click on the Open Educational Resources on the left. Notice the navigation menu on the left. Let's look at the Open Textbooks tab. I recommend the OpenStax and OER Commons Open Textbook catalogs. Both of these repositories have peer-reviewed textbooks and other OER classroom materials. OpenStax allows you to search by broad subject categories. OER Commons has a library of resources organized by disciplines. The Kish Library OER Guide provides access to a lot of other OER repositories, and it is worth the time to do some treasure hunting here. Notify library staff that you are looking for OER options, and we can recommend specific OER catalogs and repositories depending on your discipline. You can access our electronic and print collection from the library's public website. Go to the section looking for library resources. Under the List of online databases link, we can access the A to Z database guide. We can check EBSCOhost for possible resources and course materials. Let's check out the EBSCOhost combined search of all databases to search in EBSCOhost. We'll do a search for studio arts and techniques. EBSCO provides access to journal, newspaper, and magazine articles and ebooks too. You can put persistent links to EBSCOhost resources directly in your Brightspace course or use the library's electronic reserve service that integrates into Brightspace. Even if you don't use a library resource for your OER, you can still use the library's eReserve service for that integration. Please contact library staff for help with this. Next, I'd like to show you Library Smart Search. Library Smart Search gives you access to the library's book, article, and media collections, plus 4.5 billion resources available online. You can access Library Smart Search on the library's website under the section Looking for Library Resources. The list of online databases will bring up our A to Z database guide. Let's do a search in Library Smart Search, which is a good place to find online resources that are open access. We'll search for our topic on studio arts techniques. Notice that under Tweak Your Results on the left, you can select to look at only open access resources. Open access items such as journal articles and ebooks are always free to read and are usually available online and never require passwords, payments, or restrictions to read. Usually, open access sources are labeled with the Creative Commons licensing for attribution, no derivatives, and many are copyrighted works. Once you have identified one or more OERs, you'll go through the textbook adoption process with the bookstore. The bookstore can also help you create course packets. If you find more than one OER, check with library staff to see if we can make a guide for you to go along with our e-reserves. That way you can provide the bookstore with a single access link for your students on the textbook list. You may not find the perfect OER for your course, so please consider modifying an existing OER or even creating your own OER. Contact library staff if you need help finding repositories or catalogs of OER materials. You'll have lots of questions while you are going through the process of adopting OERs for your courses, and we are here to help you through that process.